basically like trying to be this show version of Mr. Trump.
Yeah. I don't know Trey Parker and Matt Stone's political leanings. I remember Trey Parker talking about George W. Bush about 15 years ago. He was being very funny. He was saying he'd be at these liberal parties and he'd say, I love George Bush. And he would do that just to upset all of the Democrats and all these people who were like, ugh. But he likes to just have fun. I can't imagine that he's a Trump supporter. But there's a lot of fun to be had with how much Donald Trump has shaken up the political landscape.
The first episode of the season, which if all the kids in their school had this big meeting at their basketball court about like, we're going for a big change here in South Park Elementary about our normal school principal is now fired for some unknown reason, which will explain to the very end of the season. But I'll save it for those who experience them for themselves. Which this is the female one with the big long hair.
I remember her. So she's been the principal since the first series, but she's now been replaced by PC principal.
Yeah, which is if you actually look at him.
Oh, is that the principal?
Yep.
Right. Okay.
With all muscle bound with glasses.
Interesting.
But all very loud.
Okay.
Very nauseous. It gives you a hint that he's like the main baddie. Yeah, because it's pretty much the first few scenes is clean house of the whole school. Where the minorities in this school.
Yeah.
Like where the Canadians, where the Japanese. Asians.
That's right. I think that the makers have jumped on that is really good because that's a big issue, school diversity. Go on.
Yeah, and actually they did some callbacks from previous seasons. Yeah, like example where they mentioned there's no restaurant ordered in the school, and a guy I can't remember the he said there's one where they mentioned, oh yeah, we got the only black kid in this school, which is Token, which is like a callback from him being there since a couple of seasons. And they did make a callback when Mr. Garrison was a lesbian in season 10. There'll be those callbacks from Easter eggs from previous seasons. Oh yeah, it meant like few things in to tie in from previous seasons, but not distract from this season.
Okay, is that them trying to show PC principal that they do have a bit of diversity, or?
Well, no, just showing how dysfunctional this school is. Yeah. So he basically cleared house, as in fired the actual school teacher, Mr. Garrison, after he complaining and not happy with the changes happening to the school, or buying the Canadians over to the school, which is basically then trying to add to say about like, today's culture about different minorities and different races in different races of different meet different opportunities.
Absolutely. I think the Canadians are a really good tool for the South Park makers to use because they've had Terrence and Phillip for a long time representing Canadians, and they're drawn slightly differently. So they look like slightly different characters. They're different and they're from another place.
Yeah. Also, another thing this season was ethical great. Like they gained new shops in South Park, downgrade of business opportunities, students like new restaurants that come to this town, new restaurants, a lot of the other ones that we spent for the last many seasons. Most of them probably worry about like what shop businesses are like today. Worry about closing down, which is focused on one episode from Kenny when he was with the Japanese owner. You know, we say, you want to be.
I don't know I remember Shitty Wok, the Chinese restaurant.
That's it.
Okay. Right. So not Japanese, but Chinese. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
That's
I
okay.
help myself. So with DC Principal, you think yourself, oh wait, he's like the big meanie this season. Actually, as time regresses, which I say for spoiler, is turned out not actually as a man who, as in a do blow, but also like comes in with the right impression, the right motivation of what he's doing, what he's trying to achieve in the school, which makes him change it.
I mean, he's a bit of a mysterious character because I don't know whether or not he truly believes in political correctness, which is where he gets his name, or if there's some underlying motive that the makers have for setting him up as a do-gooder, and then maybe he's actually not as good. And he looks like a mercenary with the muscles and the shades. He looks like he's ready to do some Rambo stuff. At the end of the series, do you get some kind of answer to the questions? Do you get like conclusion to this story?
We will get to season 20 at some point. Don't worry about that.
Okay, we'll find out then. It's just a lot of the programs you've been talking about, it's been the 4th or the 5th series of that program. And I keep asking, is it wise to go back to the beginning? And you've been saying yes. But with South Park, because it's a joke comedy, I can't think of the word I'm looking for, like a sketch comedy, it can be totally new every episode. It doesn't have to refer back to things that happened. But I'm guessing with PC Principle, they want to make the point that we're introducing a new character. So get used to it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
And also, they did focus a lot on topics like gay relationships go, which is a lot of 2 characters more screen time, which is Cly and Tweak.
I remember Tweak, I think. These are the kids, are they?
Yeah, the 2 kids, yeah. The one is Noel, and the other one, yes, I think is schizophrenic.
Okay.
Yeah.
They had Big Gay Al, who was a big part of the early series.
Yes.
He was basically like the only gay in the village. He was representing gay people whenever South Park deemed it, interesting to go there. But it's nice if they have more regular homosexual characters, or that rather than making it a big thing, they just have characters that are gay. That'd be quite nice.
Yeah.
But that's the whole point about PC Principle, is South Park does not have to be PC correct. They are good guys, the makers. They're not out to make people hateful, but they will make fun of everything. So watch yourself.
Yeah, so all that's been going.
So Les Cartman.
Yeah, and throughout the PC Principle drama that's happened this season, most of the storm later on start to affect the entire town.
Starts to what, sorry?
Affects the entire town.
Okay, so his do-gooding mission spreads out from the school into the rest of South Park. Yeah.
But when it progresses, it's actually started to become a conspiracy going on.
Intriguing. I suppose without more information, I can't ask any questions directly.
Which I attempt to destroy the town.
Okay, basically, the town is in peril because of political correctness. I mean, we'll find out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool. Okay, that sounds fun.
And also, they introduce a few new characters in there. You've got like this new boy who comes down, like Asian boy, little African American boy who's family got a new coffee shop in South Park. Barely I can't remember his name. And you got surprise celebrities who are only there just for appearances or guest spots or cameos, which is Debbie DeFato. Like in that summer video about where copper spenders.
No idea, Ryan. Sorry.
Okay, this is a picture I'm talking about.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah, and surprisingly, Caitlyn Jenner.
Right.
And no, not Caitlyn Jenner, voiced by Caitlyn Jenner. Probably get like a personator to impersonate Caitlyn Jenner in the show.
Yeah, I'll just say when they did the South Park movie, and obviously they send up Alec Baldwin and the Baldwins. Apparently, Alec Baldwin wanted to be in it. He was like, "Hey guys, let me do the voices," and they were like, we're not paying you, but also we want to make fun of you. So no, we don't want you. So they don't tend to get the celebrities on like the Simpsons do. They do their impression of the celebrities. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the character in it is like himself, assisting Mr. Garrison on his quest to become President of the United States.
I've asked you this before, like if you're out of South Park for as long as I have been, might you get confused if you just suddenly jumped back into it? And it sounds like before this series, I would have been okay. But now, if I was to watch the middle of series 19, I would be missing crucial information about who is who and what's happening. So Mr. Garrison is running for president still, or is he president now?
Well, at this point, by the season 19 finish, leading up to season 20, he's still in the running.
Yeah.
And he'd go up against Hillary Clinton like Trump was in real life.
Now that I remember, obviously 2015 is when Trump announced his running, but it wasn't until the Christmas of 2016 that he actually won. So it might be that South Park...
I remember that day.
South Park might deal with that in series 21 or even 20, because if it's based on the year that it was, in 2015, Barack Obama was still the president. So I don't suppose they're going to assume, no one assumed that Donald Trump would win in 2015. So only South Park maybe have Mr. Garrison.
Surprise.
I mean,
just hits you in the face.
Nothing surprises us anymore. Yeah.
No.
So what else to say about season 19, Ryan? You said it's amazing. Would you say this is to do with the shorter number of episodes, a revamp of the characters? It sounds like the formula is working for you.
It's the lower the episodes, made it more coherent, and a new verb of characters. Definitely for like Mr. Garrison, you see Principal, Kenny for one episode. And most of all for Randy Marsh.
Always include Randy.
Which is
go nowhere. Randy.
Actually the most sympathetic one out of other characters I just mentioned. Which is he actually get himself involved of the PC principal madness. But he's realised he's been mind controlled.
Randy and Kyle's dad both are very smug, liberal characters. They did an episode about the hybrid cars, and it's great because they're all about sniffing their own farts and really enjoying the smell.
Yeah.
So if it comes to political correctness, Randy is going to be a good guy, but he'll probably take it too far.
Oh, yeah, pretty much. So that's all I'm going to say about season 19. It's a fresh change of pace.
The last couple of series, as you've mentioned, have impressed you, whereas a few series ago, you were underwhelmed, if I recall, but you weren't being wooed or wowed. So it's doing the right thing now.
Yeah, that's that.
Great. Good stuff. Have you, obviously, I asked you before, you finished watching all of available South Park before you began this epic mission to review them all. Is there any South Park you haven't seen? So we've done South Park season 19.
Yeah, and now I'm beginning. Season 20 right now.
Cool. All right, man. The complete 20th season series.
I know, 20 years. 20 years.
20 years indeed. 2000 was the South Park movie, which was Oscar nominated. Everyone, I think, thought that South Park might finish then. In the year 2000, they had their big movie, and that's it, done. No one imagined that they would be going, 20 years later. So hopefully it's still going strong. Regarding season 20 of South Park, Ryan has discovered a plot summary and then given his opinion. Plot summary is Garrison attempts to throw the 2016 presidential election against Hillary Clinton. Captain is believed to be an internet troll known as SkankHunt42, who attacks local girls on the school message board. But Gerald Broflovsky is revealed to be the real troll. Gerald begins to expand his trolling globally. Ryan says, I was looking forward to this season to check what it got in store in the 20th season of South Park. This new season of South Park was a mixed bag to me. Pros, the two characters who benefited the season were Gerald and Mr. Garrison. They focus on themes like internet trolls, nostalgia, and the 2016 United States presidential election, which did really good job of explaining how internet comments can affect other people, emotions, and feelings, and also how they dictate internet trolls different ways. I was impressed how the animation has improved so much, and at times I feel like the drama was real. I hope that everyone makes it out all right. Oh. Cons. Some plot lines didn't get proper resolution. I didn't feel for the love romance between Eric Cartman and Heidi Turner. Lennart Bedraja is a weak villain, and the disappointing part about this season is that two of their big plots don't intertwine with each other. Ryan recommends it on all of the outlets we've mentioned already. Very interesting points here, Ryan. Where to begin?
Boy,
Would you like to begin somewhere, or go on?
Okay, first of all, start of the season, the two main characters benefit from this season were Mr. Garrison, or he called himself in the show now, President Garrison, with the pre-Donald Trump hair,
Brilliant.
which are trying to copy Darth Vader from the Star Wars movies. Just regular Mr. Garrison trying to personate President Trump. Darth Vader's theme. Also, like, he won the bet to become President of the United States. And also, this season, actually did focus more on the Broflovski family a bit more.
I was going to say, is Gerald Broflovski, is that Kyle's dad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which, this season, he's actually trying to do actually become a troll. Like you said, Shark Stunk 42.
Skank Hunt 42. Which is,
thank you.
Only they could come up with stuff like that. That's obviously based on the trolling that's occurring on Twitter and the trolling that ultimately led to Donald Trump becoming president. We don't hold back our politics here. The Russians totally did it for him. But South Park is making a point about the effect it has on people, you were saying.
Yeah, like example, when he's trolling, it gets too out of control. Probably a former Olympic gold medalist to take her life. His trolling gone too far.
Yeah.
And he didn't realise, oh my God, I got someone's life.
And he's doing it just for fun. Is that the point in the program? Yeah.
Yeah, definitely for fun. And you do feel for him, definitely for that lady who took his life.
Yeah.
Also, he doesn't actually take full responsibility of it himself. Well, seems he does, but in terms of like all the other trollers he's with. But also, he made the stupid decision of keeping that secret away from his family. Sometimes he blames it on Ike, and sometimes he blames it on Kyle.
Brilliant. Okay, talk about guilty pleasures, yeah.
Yes. So, the main big bag of this season is the Danish.
All right, that took a tangent. Can I just ask quickly, does the trolling stuff, does that go over multiple episodes, or is Gerald's story dealt with in one episode?
Yeah, Gerald does have to deal with that throughout the season.
Lovely, thanks, Ryan, because that's kind of new to South Park, is that there will be a knock-on effect to future episodes. Right, you just mentioned the Danish.
Yeah, which are the main baddies of this season.
Cool.
Yeah, because after one of them killed themselves, they actually are outraged. They've called spend upon them to start this company called Troll Trade to stop trolling all over the world.
Right, so can I just ask, the Gerald Broflovski trolling affects this group of Danes, and they become the bad guys in a sense because they are responding to the trolling that's being done in the episodes.
In the season, in the series, yes.
Wow, that's cool, because I don't know if there's some kind of... There are groups of vigilantes that do anti-trolling work on the internet, but I don't know if there's any famous group of Danish people doing that maybe South Park have heard about, or they've just decided to make it Scandinavian people for no reason. I don't know.
Well, yeah. Well, that's true.
I just want to make a point. We said earlier, Ryan, that it's always based on something. Everything in South Park is based on a news story or something that maybe you heard of. And if you haven't, it doesn't matter. They're very good at not needing you to know what it's based on, but it is always based on something.
And the other storyline going is the things will turn into turmoil school between the boys and the girl. Yeah, about the son with like.
Sorry, ice cream truck going by.
Oh, that's okay. I've wondered that sound like ice cream coming. Also, they hardly outbid the boys in penis size. Yeah, like Zappa with Butters, when he's like making a stand against the girls, he gets so pissed off on it.
Hang on, I think I might have seen this one. Does he get dressed up as a girl in the episode?
No, that's another season. He does that yeah.
That's the sleepover, isn't it? It's the sleepover that he sneaks into. Sorry, yeah. And they do the crab thing, the light as a feather, stiff to the board. Yeah.
Yeah. And so pulls down his pants, so he's really in front of everyone.
Yeah.
And put his hands up. In proud American patriot he is. And probably most of the boys, definitely the main ones with Carl, Dan, they pretty much can't believe. And also, they did plot line with the belly, like, you know, the small purple, like, you're gonna belly.
Berries, as in you eat. Okay.
Yeah, they talk in this. And I think it's something to do with the election.
Okay, right.
So in this show's version of, like, the Russians trying to let Trump win, become president. So he's switching to the berries, have a role in the president on this show.
Confusing, but I'm sure it's very funny.
Pretty much. I'm like, Willie Berry having a role play in Garrison becoming president of the United States. That's mad.
At the risk of confusing us, are we talking about little fruits of berry that have faces? Do they talk?
Yes.
Okay.
They talk a lot. Silly it is, but just typical South Park.
Well, I mean, they like to make fun of Disney cartooning, and a lot of Disney and other things like to animate non-living things by just plonking eyes and a mouth on it and making it go, hey! So I wonder if they're making fun of that as well. But clearly, the whole point of us talking about this is you're encouraging people to watch South Park season 20 after you've watched it.
And then I'd like to spread my pros and cons of it as well.
Please. Sorry, Ryan. You go ahead.
The only pros I can see is those two definitely characters which you talked about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Did benefit from this season a lot.
Yeah.
And also, I thought some parts of it were really funny, but other times the jokes fall flat.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think in the second half of the season, all the plot lines that were in the beginning, they were all dropped. Since Trump was elected in real life.
That's so much.
The plot line with the berries, that dropped. The bit with the boys and the girls dropped, and everything else dropped. But other than the storylines with Gerald, Mr. Garrison, and Carmen and Heidi's relationship, which didn't go nowhere.
That was dropped, or they keep the relationship going?
Well, they kept the relationship from another season, which they focus on, which is actually a bad season.
Are we talking about a previous or a future? I'm confused now.
A future season.
Let's not do that. If Cartman and Heidi feature in 21 or let's talk about that then. There's enough to unpack right now. Can I ask, Ryan?
Sorry, that's just I tried to like a salmon here. The way I remember in my head.
Yeah, that's fine, because we said first interview that you've watched all of this and you're going to write about it between now and Christmas. Sounds like you'll be done with it before August, but for people that haven't watched it, it can be confusing to try and keep where we are. So does Mr. Garrison become president of the USA in season 20?
Yes, he does.
Fantastic. Okay. And so what you're suggesting is thereafter, a lot of planned storylines just don't happen because they have to focus on Mr. Garrison, Mr. Douche as the president.
Yeah, which is the Trump. It's basically plot heavy throughout the scene, which is...
It'll be real life heavy, I suppose. It might be based on actual things that Donald Trump has done.
When they get to the bit, their internet over there is get out of control, definitely with a Cartman. He decided to go, there's only one place we can go to sort out this mess, which is SpaceX.
All right, yeah, Elon Musk. Okay, yeah.
Which is basically their version of the NAGA.
What's that?
As in...
MAGA. MAGA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is this show version.
Okay.
Their way to stop the bad guys from happening was to shut down and let's reboot it.
Please, God. That would be so good if we could do that. Yeah. Clean slate.
As in, like, in the end, they boom, shoot the nuke, shoot the rocket into the air, and boom.
Is that how it ends?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes. And the saddest thing about that is where everyone would celebrate and say, yes, we all right. But Gerald got home and you expect after what he has done throughout the season, you expect some consequences happen to him. But he doesn't. He's just welcome home, just out of nowhere.
What's out of nowhere, Ryan?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were in there blocking for some reason.
You're building up to a really good point. So does Gerald continue trolling?
No. Throughout this, he goes from a journey from trying to say. Actually, no. Repeat myself. Throughout this season, they try to spread the message of trolling is bad. Pissing the one people off the land, deadly consequences.
Yeah, well, I suppose what you mean about that is the person committing suicide or taking their own life, rather, based on the trolling they were experiencing, which is a very serious, dark thing for South Park to deal with. But I almost imagine they would clean the internet, everything's great, and then he realizes that, hey, it's fun, so he goes back to trolling. That would be what I would do, because people can't help themselves,
Yeah, just ask everyone all over the world. They even know themselves.
It's not any individuals that are the problem. It's the fact that human beings love to play with the internet and do nasty things with it because there's no ramifications. There's no way of punishing someone for being, as you quite put it, a-holes. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, one more good thing I will say.
Yeah.
It's this one, it's actually they shown how showcased the most trolls in this season who helps with Gerald how to take them in different light. As in they're just everyday people like you and I, or just political activists who are just doing it for out of protesting.
Or professional, they're being paid to do it.
So this is a mixed bag season for me. Some bits I did quite enjoy, when it definitely got with stuff with Carmen and the trolls and everything else. But it definitely missed Trump and all the silliness. And what really drove this one down for me a bit was the relationship between Carmen and Carmen was way out of nowhere. And other than that, Carmen out of nowhere. And the finale of there was a bit underwhelming. But other than that, I thought it was still a mixed bag season, which I still recommend people to anyone who fans the show.
Brilliant. Okay, so we might see more of Cartman in season 21. Let's see if he makes more of an appearance. Ryan, thank you very much.
Okie dokie.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you.